Cardiff, Sunday the 25th of February 2001. A day that will live long in the memories of Blues fans everywhere. The first English Cup final in Cardiff and Birmingham's first major final since 1963. They so nearly made history. The long road to Cardiff started at Roots Hall in Southend way back in August. It took Blues just 5 minutes to go ahead against third division opposition, Nicky Eden opening the scoring. Only a further 5 minutes to wait before number 2, Marcelo, next to score after good work from Peter and Love. Blues were 3 up before the half hour, Michael Johnson heading home from Granger's corner. And then Dele Adebola started what would prove to be a memorable goal trail in the competition with a great turn and shot. This cup run he was going to enjoy. When Brian Hughes made it 5 in the 85th minute, Birmingham knew they were into the next round, despite the tie being a two-legged affair. The return tie at St Andrews ended goalless. The reward was another two-leg tie against Wycombe Wanderers, the first game played at Adams Park. Blues were gifted an early lead after only 3 minutes. Paul McCarthy couldn't help forcing the ball over his own line. Then Jeff Horsfield made it 2 on 22. And when Andrew Johnson added a third on 24 minutes, another cricket score looked a possibility. But Wycombe proved to be stronger opposition than Southend and produced a spirited fight back. The experienced Andy Rammell showing he's still a potent force with a great goal just before half-time. Andy Baird then pulled back another on 71 minutes. And with just 4 minutes to go, Wycombe eventually equalised. A corner not cleared, Jamie Bates levelling at 3 each. A draw seemed a fair result, but young Andrew Johnson had other ideas, scoring the winner a minute later. The return leg was easily won by a Peter and Love goal, which ensured a draw away to Spurs in the next round.
Ferdinand. Up in the air by Eden. Now Mark Burchill for the first time, crossing halfway with Lazaridis to his left. Burchill through the inside left channel. Lazaridis has found him, it's Burchill! Just couldn't dig his left foot round the ball, the young Scot, with only Sullivan, his international custodian, between him and glory. Sherman. Davis. Hughes was quickly onto him. Lazaridis picks up the loose ball. It's come through to Adebola! Birmingham lead! Fantastic start for the First Division side. And for Trevor Francis, who sent his team out in relaxed spirit to enjoy and to savour. And at this stage, they do just that at White Hart Lane. Lazaridis finding Adebola all alone. And the big striker finding the inside of Sullivan's net. Rangers throw. Adebola. And again. Oh, well taken by Lazaridis, whose turn was equally nifty. Burchill had made a run in front of the Australian, and the Scotsman maybe expected it to come through to him. But when Adebola played the pass, Lazaridis really did the unexpected. Carr's ball forward, Ferdinand took that really well in front of Johnson. Anderton. Carr's gone outside of him, Anderton's delivered the cross, Ferdinand! And again, Bennett plunges to deny the one time England set it forward. Again, Ferdinand holding up. And again, Darren Anderton delivering, enabling Ferdinand to head towards goal. Anderton charged down, Birchall able to turn, Adebola able to run now. Vega going across to meet him. Birchall alone steaming towards the edge of the penalty area. Adebola on the ball. And getting away from Thatcher. And having a go, Adebola! It's a fantastic hit! What a goal by Dele Adebola! And what a scenario for Birmingham City! All his own work. He ran at Vega, he ran past Thatcher, he had a look, he got his finger on the trigger, and he fired for bullseye. There'll be inquiries as to whether Sullivan might have done better, but he was caught backpedaling, and Adebola made it count in spectacular style. Tottenham 0, Birmingham 2. Thatcher increasingly forward now. Sherwood, Carr, broken up by Granger, and Birmingham have a man over here. Granger's cross. Birchall, free! Near utopia for Birmingham City. Sullivan horribly exposed. Birmingham delightfully quick to break. Granger picked out his man, Birchall picked out the net, and Birmingham have a cushion that they could not have imagined in their wildest pre-match dreams. Granger furiously fast over 50 or 70 yards, and Birchall telling over 5 or 10. Have to get one before half-time, you would have thought. Sullivan with the free kick quickly. Up in the air by Gill. In goes Thatcher, Ferdinand to hold it up. Clements across the box. O'Connor away, Lazaridis onto it. There may be time for one more Birmingham break. Adebola. Eden outside of him. Here is Nicky Eden. Eden's cross. Oh! That close to 4-0. And Mark Birchall, having scored 1 moment ago, because of the circumstance of the match, can afford himself a rueful smile, but on another day he'd have finished from there. Sherwood. Clements. Carr. Clements outside of him. Ferdinand through the middle. Carr away from Lazaridis. Now Stephen Clements has gone down. Penalty. Challenge was that of Lazaridis, and it offers Tottenham just a hint of a lifeline. Stan Lazaridis going back, Clements coming inside. Oh, was there really contact? That's worth another look. I'm not sure that Lazaridis had much to do with Clements going down there. Either way, it is a penalty to Spurs. It's Darren Anderton, it is 3-1, and half an hour remains. A penalty on the opening day against Ipswich when all seemed so rosy for Spurs folk, and a penalty now in an urgent situation from Darren Anderton. Anderton from deep. It's a lovely ball, so Darren Anderton's about. Carr. It's a clever one too, and he's got it back from Clements. It's Carr across goal. Ferdinand! Oh! Ball at keeper. As much as keeper behind ball. A yard either side from Les Ferdinand, and it was game on. Clements and Carr worked this really expertly. Ferdinand with the downward header, and Bennett somehow scrambled across. It was a good save, but he ought not to have been in a position to make it.
I think when you think you're a first division club, you don't really believe you can go all the way to a final. But we played well that night at Spurs. I think that we're the only side this year to actually win at White Hart Lane. They've done well at home, but Adebola was outstanding on the night. We had Mark Birchall as well with us at the time, and between them, I thought they caused a lot of problems to the Spurs defence. And after that, Newcastle, then my old club Sheffield Wednesday.
Now Lazaridis on the charge here for Birmingham. One of their scorers in the game at the weekend, and there was Horsfield on the near post. He got the other one in the win over Huddersfield.
Yeah, tremendous break this from Lazaridis. Wins the ball from Griffin, knocks it out of his feet, knocks it out of his feet again, and again, puts it in early at the near post. Horsfield just gets a glance on it, and unfortunately for him, the keeper just happens to take it to the right spot, but a great positive run from Lazaridis.
Up comes Darren Purse, scorer of Birmingham's second goal in last season's League Cup tie. And he was in there again. Very positive.
He'll be thankful there was a whistle there. I think this ref's blown for a whistle on a free kick, because he's missed an absolute sitter if he hasn't.
Well, there's a bit of pushing going on there. Horsfield with a shove. First marshalling that back line. Gary Speed might be a target here. It's a real danger. So Spreckhill. That's Barton to whip it back across. And it's off the post, and in from Dyer. Newcastle take the lead, Kieran Dyer. That's a goal they have been threatening early on.
Yeah, Birmingham never really cleared the free kick. Ball's volleyed in, it's just stabbed out. Dyer hits it, doesn't hit it completely true. He just happens to hit it into the ground. Gets the little touch in off the inside of the post.
Can they build something here, Birmingham? The challenge by Goma.
He's been outstanding at the moment, Goma. He's done all the ugly things well. He's contested, he's won headers, and he's won good blocks like that.
Not playing like a player who is discontented, we gather. Might be a chance here. Well, Eden came in and was unlucky not to score.
Just feel that he needs the ball to come over to him faster here. The ball's kept in the box, but Eddie Bowler keeps it in there. Ball just doesn't quite make. Defender does just enough to put him off there.
O'Connor. So often their driving force from the midfield. Now Granger. Disappointing touch though from Lazaridis. Johnson knocking it forward. Horsfield. Now can he get through here? Horsfield! Such strength, such power, not quite the finish to match. Oh, no wonder Trevor Francis looked so frustrated down on the bench. He came so close then.
Yeah, it was an excellent chance once he got there. I had a feeling that at one stage, there's a ball turned back in. I just got a feeling he might have fouled the defender then. It looks as if it should have been a corner. It is a corner.
Granger will take it. Nuisance value of Horsfield may well be a telling factor here. And it has gone in. Adebola.
Well, they needed that, Birmingham. Good delivery in. One of the first set plays they've had in the course of the game. But look at Adebola. He really, he's 6 foot whatever, hasn't had to jump for it. Very, very slack defending that.
It's Shearer who's endeavouring to mark him. On to Lazaridis! Just couldn't turn it in. Horsfield, and then Granger denied right at the last. Oh, what an escape then for Newcastle.
Well, it's a glorious opportunity. Once again, Adebola just seems to ghost past people on the right, plays it into Lazaridis, who can't quite toe end it. Then the header from Horsfield, not enough pace. And Granger just has the ball taken from under him as he wants to thrash it into the air. Look at this, he just about does enough to the defender there. Oh, he's kicked it himself.
Newcastle manager not amused. On by Granger to Horsfield, and then Lazaridis. Great combination play! And just the wrong side of the post from the Australian international.
Move of the match. Some slick build up here, but what about this from Horsfield? We talk about his bustling and that. Best move of the game for me, that.
Such a close shave. Good punch away. It's fired back in again. Still the danger might not have passed. It's Johnson! And Birmingham have scored. What a finale here. And just look at the joy of these Birmingham players, not to mention the home crowd who are going absolutely potty. Michael Johnson. The right man in the right place.
It's a bit like a bagatelle goal, isn't it? It's a good punch out in the first place. Kept in the zone. And Michael Johnson, when this ball rebounds out, I mean, it's a poor hit actually from Gill. It's a series of 2 or 3, if you like, almost miss-hits. Unfortunately, the last miss-hit's fallen to Michael Johnson, who's tucked it away and maybe has given Birmingham victory.
O'Connor hoisting it forward now. It's Burchill. Forced out by Hughes.
That'll do.
It certainly will. It's a strong case of deja vu, as with last season. Birmingham City have seen off Newcastle United. Their wonderful result at Tottenham in the previous round, followed now by a superb win here to earn Tour de France's team a place in the quarterfinals. Michael Johnson with a winning goal. They've had to come from behind to do it. But Birmingham have beaten Newcastle from the Premier League by 2 goals to 1 and now play West Ham or Sheffield Wednesday.
Through the target for Sibon's free kick. Jerry Gill just behind him, lifted in towards Booth, who's got a header in! Oh, that's a terrific touch over by Bennett. Splendid centre forwards, thrusting header, but equally good reactions by the Birmingham City goalkeeper.
Good flighted ball on the angle. Now here comes Tommy Booth, as he's known, a big Andy. He'll lose people in the air. Good save from Bennett.
O'Connor. Burchill at pace, away from Westwood. It's Mark Burchill for Birmingham City. Westwood stood his ground well.
Defended well there because they're being asked a lot. 2 central defenders, I think, are being asked to defend big gaps.
Lazaridis with a quality ball in. And the flick header from Burchill wasn't too very far off target. Splendid delivery by the Australian. And the little Scot had just the right idea.
Great ball in. You've got to try and cut that up because that's a super ball in. He's got to cross him. And any other day, that would have glanced into the top corner of the net, far post. Good ball in. He's done as much as he could. He thinks he's scored.
There's the target, even with the corner. Burchill to keep it in. O'Connor made himself available. O'Connor to lift in the cross. 1-0 Birmingham. Danny Sonner against his former club. A goal that means so much to the individual and to the club and to the buoyant Blues fans.
Well, that's the tactics. Burchill keeps the ball in the zone. Just one touch into the box, and there's Danny Sonner arriving in a crowd scene. Nicks the kick with a great header. No messing about. Martin O'Connor plays a very, very good ball in, and that's a super header.
Burchill. Burchill! He's a lively, nippy little striker. He really is a handful.
And I think he knows he's got the sign. He knows that Westwood's not entirely happy with his game tonight. Good effort. I actually thought I'd called round Pressman into the net.
Scored a smashing goal at Spurs the round before last. Oh, mistake by Westwood. Burchill. Lazaridis. Lazaridis with the cross. Adibola! They're nearly there. Closing in on a semi-final City, and Dele Adebola, who has loved this competition this year, is on the mark again.
Definitely from the best move of the game, or the best move of this half. Good ball out, great ball in, and Adebola's done clever. He's made his run, he's going to get the smallest defender on the field. He's coming above Del Geary. Centre-halves both eliminated by the cross, and he said, thank you very much, pick that one out.
And Eden has played it square. Oh, what a hit by Danny Sonner. Did he hit that pure? He really did belt it.
That's a clever one. Little dummy, and he's coming in square, and he's just maybe cut across the ball too much, travelling with all sorts of power.
What do Ipswich need to achieve in their home leg, Ron, by contrast with Birmingham's aim?
Well, I suppose if they didn't win the game, if they came out all square, George Burley will say, well, that's all right, our away form's very good.
Stewart for Scowcroft!
That's good link up, good smash. Fortunately for Ipswich, although he hit well, Scowcroft, it's thudded right down the keeper's, well, almost at his throat, right into his midriff. Now, I think we will see a good ball here. I'd be amazed if we didn't. A fast whipper from this fella.
Venus. Don't know whether Bennett got a touch, but it did come back out to Magilton. And there's Scowcroft, and that is a super save. Nothing wrong with a header from James Scowcroft. Forceful downward towards the post, but look at the save.
I think here we see the best and worst of Ian Bennett. He's always going to have a problem with aerial stuff because of his height, but what a great reaction save that is. Brilliant save.
Oh, Lovers got inside of Venus and has had a go from an angle which was sufficiently tight to represent wishful thinking, but fairness to him, there wasn't a lot else on.
Yeah, he's read the little nick, he's got the other side of the defender. He can't, one or two might just say, I actually thought the defender squeezed it out there, but he didn't.
Ryderson is one of those to threaten him now as the corner is aimed towards the back post this time. Johnson's header out, back in by Magilton, cries for handball, upheld by the referee in conjunction with his assistant against Danny Sonner.
You know, I must admit my first reaction was it was a penalty. I thought he made a definite hand movement. I'd be interested to see with the replay for this.
It is only a yellow card for Danny Sonner. That was for the protests. The penalty was for handball. There's no doubt that ball made contact with hand. Who was at fault? Was anyone at fault?
Well, it's a penalty. I must admit, once again, even on looking at that, I still say I think it was a penalty. I think it was a handball.
It's going to be Marcus Stewart. 1-0 Ipswich Town. 15 for the season for one of the Premiership's hot shots. His first in this competition and his 5th in successive games. He is on some kind of a run.
I think the irony of it all was as well, I think it was Magilton's ball into the box. There he goes, he tucks it in nice and confident. Lad scoring goals. Nice and assured.
Wellness, right. Wellness has gone. Wellness with the cross, Scowcroft arriving, and Stewart! Oh! Well, that can't be him. That can't be the Premiership's form striker, can it really?
I'll tell you what he has, he's come at the end of a brilliant 1-2 on the other side of the field. And a great ball in, Scowcroft at first you thought was going to get it. A goal gaping, and he's absolute, that'll be as bad a miss as he'll hit this season.
Hughes ball in, Marcello!
And that was what I was just going to say, the distinct impression from a set play, Peter, they just might nick something, Birmingham. The game's a long way from being over. That's a lovely flighty ball in. Marcello gets in front of the defender, and I'm not sure Richard Wright could have done much if that had been just below the bar. Good header.
Really, after the first leg, we could have been perhaps two behind. I think the goal was rather unfortunate that we conceded. I didn't think it was a penalty, but 1-0 gave us a chance. You know, we were in a similar position some 18 months prior to that when we went to Watford in the first leg of the semi-final of the playoff. We lost 1-0, and we came back to St Andrews in front of a full house, a very passionate crowd, and we got the goal back, went to extra time, and then we lost on penalties. So I really thought that we could actually win the game against Ipswich, but I thought that getting 2 goals would be too much of a tall order.
Rarely are pre-match emotions quite so pent up as this. A full 3 weeks since the first leg, a whole month since the last home game, 38 years since their last League Cup final. 29,000 bellowing Brummies are finally let loose on a fixture whose very scheduling has contributed much to the considerable pre-match needle. Here is the 11 let loose by Trevor Francis, infused with confidence by Saturday's uplifting win at Fulham, after which, why change? Answer, he doesn't. Jeff Horsfield still preferred to the soon-departing Peter O'Love up front. Stan Lazaridis on the bench in the first leg is picked ahead of Brian Hughes for the home game. Ipswich have Alan Armstrong cup-tied and Titus Bramble sidelined by a calf injury. In addition, a couple of surprising selections. Gary Croft comes in at right-back for Fabian Wilness, who pulled a hamstring this morning, and young Richard Naylor gets the nod up front instead of James Scowcroft. There exists in that lineup the capacity to switch between 4-4-2 and 3-5-2. In central midfield always, however, will be Matt Holland, for whom this is a 200th consecutive first-team appearance. He goes toe-to-toe again with Martin O'Connor, who's been stating an intention to give Ipswich, quote, a horrible game, in which case the performance of referee Jeff Winter may count for much. Oddly, he did the quarter-final here before Christmas. It is tantalisingly poised. Home team chasing a tie, weighted by an ounce no more in favour of the visitors. So, Jim Beglin, do you dare to make a call this early?
Well, it's tough. I think Birmingham have got to get after Ipswich from the word go. I really do. I think they saw from the first leg how well Ipswich can knock it about. And I think they've got to show the faithful here in the first 15-20 minutes that, you know, they can pull this off tonight. Imagine if they got an early goal, the roof would take off.
Croft with the early throw. Naylor tried to turn off the back of a clever little lift and turn. Ipswich Town haven't won on any of their last 8 visits to St Andrews. Adibola was the target. It came back to Nicky Eden, who lifted the first shot of the evening over the crossbar.
Well, it's well delivered. I mean, Route 1, and to be honest, Peter, with the pitch the way it is, it's not such a bad shout. Adibola, you know, is going to cause trouble in the air. Only half cleared, and Eden, well, he was underneath it all the way, and I thought he should have done better to keep it down.
The pitch is likely to be a factor. Scorched 10 days or so ago by a vain attempt to get a league game on with hot air blowers, and lashed by rain ever since. It is certain to cut up. Granger. Lazaridis. Granger again to deliver. Adibola going in for it. Eden nudging it down. Adibola! Really well worked and not too very far away. Half of his 10 goals this season have come in this competition, and he's a threat.
Well, I'm just watching Mark Venus here. He stopped momentarily and McGreal's hand went up. I don't know whether they were looking for offside, but Adibola did well, kept going, played to the whistle. And again, should have been looking to keep it down. Would have been difficult to squeeze it in, but he's got to make the keeper work.
Jolton again, Ryderson. Ipswich moving the ball smoothly when they're given the opportunity to do that. And here is Clapham. Ryderson has continued on his run from left full-back, and Martin O'Connor had nothing left to do but to slide it behind for a corner. Forward for which Ryderson will stay. Venus is lumbering into the penalty area as well. And he scored the winner in the quarter-final against Manchester City, deep into extra time. Jermaine Wright's right foot will deliver. Oh, it's cleared off the line by Jerry Gill. Well stationed on the far post for Jermaine Wright's corner. Eden out for Adibola. Birmingham having got off the hook. O'Connor. Gary Gill is certainly the hero of the hour just now for his clearance off the line. It was Wright's corner. Haridason, I think, who got up highest with a header, and Gill, who slid it away. Adebola took that really well. Eden delivered. Horsfield to hold it up. And to turn, and to slither between defenders, and maybe to get Bolt. He's had a half-hearted appeal and a glare at the referee. His turn was strong. It's what he's all about. It's a classic old-fashioned centre-forward of this type.
Put it this way, Peter, you know, if he's a continental, he goes down there because Ryderson had his hands on him.
Horsfield a threat now for the corner, which comes out to Lazaridis, who's shot it against Wright, and the referee has immediately ruled out all cries for a penalty. And anyone who saw the first leg and the way the goal was scored, certainly in Birmingham colours, would wonder about consistency there. Ryderson, Stewart. Ryderson. Oh, good ball by Magilton, and Ryderson has slid it wide. And Stewart is wondering why the big defender didn't leave it to the instinctive finisher to apply the final touch.
Well, I think it's just as well as fault to someone like Ryderson and not Marcus Stewart with the form he's in. Lovely little 1-2, great ball back. Was Stewart offside to begin with? It's questionable, but he really should have tucked it away on the kneeling bent.
The referee has decided that it was McGreal's indiscretion, his foul on Horsfield. Sono with the free kick. Lazaridis with the cross. Adebola climbing. Oh, good touch from Darren Purse, forward from centre-half for the set piece. And getting with a centre-forward's instinct in front of a defender there, Haridason, and not too far away. Right. Forward by Gill. One aerially by Horsfield for Dele Adebola again. Faced by Haridason. Adebola with the cross. And the goalkeeper came, and it could fall here to Horsfield. It's turned in by Martin Granger. And Birmingham have squared the tie to euphoria inside a packed St Andrews. The goal was no more tidy than the match has been up to now, but that is of little import to Trevor Francis. Adebola's high and hopeful delivery, a horrible communications breakdown, and in crept Martin Granger.
Well, it was a decent ball in from Adebola. For me, Richard Wright, the goalkeeper, shouldn't come. It's an awful attempt to clear from Gary Croft, doesn't get hold of it at all. And Granger, because he stood back from it all, I think he got a little nudge from Horsfield. Because he stood back, he can see exactly what's happening when one or two other players don't know where the ball's gone, and he can follow it up to just tuck it in.
Right. Croft. Lazaridis. Sono and Granger again. Enough, Ipswich's record on this ground, as I mentioned, is a really awful one. They haven't won any of the last 8, but of those 8, on 7 occasions they've got a result which would at least have pushed this tie into extra time tonight. So they've never lost by much, and they're in an extra time predicament as things stand now. Scowcroft. For the record, away goals don't count double until after extra time. We're in a penalty situation at 1-0. Holland firm in the challenge. Gill away. Came to Magilton, who fed for Ryderson. Wide from Holland. Here's Clapham. by Johnson, who hasn't put a foot wrong. Croft. Up and under from McGreal, came to Stewart! Now that is route one, and it wasn't so very far away from paying off. That isn't archetypal Ipswich.
Well, it's the best little passing sequence we've seen in a while, but it just goes to show you that outlet over the top is going to be the most successful all night long, because he can't pass it on this, and that's unlucky from Stewart. It's a difficult one to take. It's a good attempt.
Not often on the night that Marcus Stewart has, from his point of view, got the right side of Pearce and or Johnson. Granger. Tie by Gill. One rather fortunately by Adipola. Through for Horsfield. Onside. Good save. Horsfield. Yes. Birmingham ahead. What a racket now. Birmingham have turned the tie round. There are people on the pitch that ought not to be there. Their emotions spilling over, prompted by this.
Brilliant movement to start with from Horsfield. He read it extremely well as Dele Adipola challenged. A lovely little flick through from Adipola. He gets a little lucky ricochet off Mark Venus, flicks it through, and when the first one's superbly blocked by Richard Wright, I think this is great composure. Reacts very quickly, this time left-footed, and Croft can't keep it out.
And Birmingham now are closing in on Cardiff as Horsfield closed in on goal. Just think. They are now just thinking. Half an hour just more away from a major final for the first time in 38 years. But more football to be played. In towards Scowcroft. Bennett saved Scowcroft, fired up! And Ipswich are back in the driving seat within seconds. What a thriller it is developing into. All square now on aggregate, 2-2, but that is the away goal they so craved. James Scowcroft, the second half sub, again from a goalkeeper's effort, again with the follow-up, and the tie is back on terms.
Well, how many times have we said it? You're at your most vulnerable just when you've scored a goal and Birmingham went to sleep. It's a free cross in. I thought it was a good save initially from Ian Bennett to deny Scowcroft the first time, but it's fallen so kindly, and similar to the Horsfield goal, he follows up without a problem. Amazing.
Granger. Croft uncomfortable. Lazaridis quick to take the throw. Granger. Horsfield, he took that really well. Horsfield shot! Oh, what a wonderful effort! And it bounced back off the crossbar. That was a shot full of imagination. An idea blocked out of the top drawer. Here come Birmingham again. Sonner. O'Connor. Eden. Horsfield! Oh! And stopped on the line by Wright. What a 30 seconds of nearlies for Jeff Horsfield.
How has he not got a second? The moment of the night for me. Didn't result in a goal, but this is brilliant presence, great composure and awareness, and it merited going in the net for me. And when it comes back in, I didn't think he was going to get a foot on this. Good strength to hold his man off. Unfortunately, straight at the keeper.
Croft. Sonner. Lifted up the line by Granger. George Burley felt the ball went into touch, and I'm sure it wasn't like this, but it seemed almost as a result of the Ipswich manager's protestation, the throw-in was given. He had a word down the line with the assistant who responded. There by McGreal. Forward by Johnson. Taken by Sonner. Adebola, Sonner again. Oh, fed in cleverly for Horsfield! Good block, Adebola! Wright made himself big on 2 occasions quickly then.
Well, he made a mistake for the first goal than Richard Wright, but I think he's just made up for it there.
Wide from Gus, a smashing ball for Eden. Gill has it back. Gill lifting it forward down the goalkeeper's throat. You've given everything, everyone. Now go out and give some more. The second semi-final of the Worthington Cup is into extra time. Jeff Horsfield briefly, oh so briefly, had Birmingham in front, but almost at once James Scowcroft brought one back for Ipswich on the night, equalised on aggregate. An extra 30 minutes is now playable. An extra 30 minutes then. Goalless half hour would do nicely for Ipswich. It is Birmingham who have to score. Otherwise, rather than going to Cardiff on the last weekend of February, they'll be away to Tranmere. It's Liverpool or Tranmere for Birmingham then. You know which they'd rather. Who's got the legs, Jim?
Well, I'm just looking at a player from each side. I think Lazaridis can do a bit of damage because I think he's still got the legs down the left-hand side. I think he should take his man on, try and whip a few in with that left peg. And Scowcroft definitely for Ipswich, the freshest, but you can never rule out Marcus Stewart with the season he's having.
There is a potential match winner. Penalties, of course, is not an option now. Jermaine Wright has won the first corner of extra time for Ipswich. And Mark Venus is going to take it. Out by Pearce. Came to Magilton. There's Wright. Always rising. Scored in both other major competitions this season. Goals at Leeds in the Premiership, one of Ipswich's famous away wins, and at Morecambe in the FA Cup. Lazaridis. This is when he can thrill Stan Lazaridis. It opened up from a bit and he nearly got it through to Andrew Johnson. It's come back to O'Connor. Eden. Gill going wide. Sonner now. Birmingham throwing more and more forward. Sonner's cross. Decent one too, but just too much on it for Horsfield.
He didn't need to come in on it. If Horsfield stands his ground on the far post, it's right on his head.
O'Connor well taken and shuffled along for Sonner. And that's a good ball, and here's a chance, and Birmingham are back in the lead, and Horsfield has scored it! His night, maybe their night! Come in, Cardiff! And Trevor Francis now is right on the edge of something special. He looks haughty and self-satisfied, and well he might.
I thought it was an absolutely beautiful finish, so clinical. I thought Sonner does well, bides his time, waits for the runner. Ipswich just get caught napping again, but once Horsfield got into the position, that is so cool and so clinical. And we couldn't wish for a better angle than this to see it. Just tucks it around Richard Wright. And Birmingham looked to be on their way.
Right. Stewart. Roycer. Clapham. Stewart. Venus can hit them left-footed and does, but not quite purely enough.
Well, you can see his reaction. He's angry with himself. I mean, maybe the pitch has had something to do with that. Didn't quite sit nicely for him, but it was a bit of a scuffer. He never got hold of it, and he can hit them.
But Trevor Francis now is 4 minutes away. Madison won the header. Oh, Wright's lost it! Johnson could finish it! Clear the M5! Birmingham are heading for Cardiff! Andrew Johnson is swamped by fans who cannot contain themselves, and Richard Wright is swamped only by dismay. It was a catastrophe that had threatened all evening. The pitch played a massive part here. No consolation to Richard Wright.
Well, I think George Burley will have something strong to say about the pitch afterwards, definitely. Now, we've been calling it, you and I, and every time there's been a back pass to the keeper, we've been fearing the likes of that. To be honest, I didn't think the pace was going to catch Richard Wright out that time. But what about that for a lousy bobble? And Andrew Johnson had the simplest of tasks to just tap the ball into the net. Really, we've had a cracking cup tie tonight. I think we could have done without that.
There's nothing left on the cup tie now, surely. Burrows. Sonner. Scowcroft. Oh, won by Johnson and played in for Gill here, who can seal it in style. Oh, he was dreaming. Granger coming in off the left flank, and Hughes arriving down the right side of the penalty area.
Well, I thought he'd done it all here. I thought this was going to be the absolute icing on the cake. Just keep it down, but couldn't quite.
29,000 whistles in St Andrews. They just want to hear one. Venus hit it long. Royce Klein. And the one whistle they want to hear is imminent. They've heard it. What a night for Trevor Francis. Move over, Aston Villa. Tonight, the first team of the second city is Birmingham City. And these long-suffering, loyal fans can indeed now, as they sing, keep right on to the end of the road that leads to the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff. Their pitch invasion doesn't actually do their club any favours. This could rebound on Birmingham. There could be repercussions, but you can understand their joy. For the third time in 20 years, Ipswich fall at the League Cup's penultimate hurdle out of both major knockout competitions in 4 days. But it is Liverpool against Birmingham in Cardiff 3.5 weeks from now.
The pleasure it's given me, Ron, is seeing the faces of so many, of our supporters on the final whistle when we beat Ipswich 4-1. They were so happy because years and years of nothing, and to get into a major final, it was quite an experience to see so many grown men, crying on the final whistle. It was a marvellous occasion, and it was such a special game because there was so much drama attached to it. I think, in all honesty, you have to think that Ipswich were the favourites, especially going to the second leg with a goal advantage. But we turned it around, and it was a fine performance.
It wasn't just the fans that couldn't believe it. The scenes in the Blues dressing room show the players couldn't quite believe it either. But being athletes, they preferred to spray the champagne over each other rather than drink it. They soon changed into something they wouldn't want champagne over, though, their cup final suits. But Trevor and the boys were still getting used to all the attention of the cup final run-in.
Very serious down there.
Never done this before.
And so the waiting was over as Martin O'Connor led the Blues out against the Reds of Liverpool. A moment to savour after years of waiting. A chance of silverware, and for the players and management, a chance to meet New England coach Sven-Göran Eriksson.
Well, not much is different, really. Only the venue has changed, and if anything, 70,000 mostly male voices sound better in Wales, as after 34 years at Wembley, the season's first final settles into its new Millennium home. For the fourth time in 7 years, the First Division is represented in the League Cup final. Here by Birmingham City, for whose biggest fan, Trevor Francis, this represents the emotional pinnacle of a 33-year affair with the club. For the first time this season, Francis has a complete squad from which to select. That means Jeff Horsfield and Stan Lazaridis, both of whom have missed the last 2 games, are okay, and that John McCarthy, who only played his first full match of the season this week, is deemed fit for a final. Nicky Eden retreats to full back at the expense of the unfortunate Jerry Gill. It's a great day out for the gentle giant Dele Adebola. 5 League Cup goals this season, a one-time Liverpool schoolboy star who chose to shy away from a pecking order of young Anfield strikers headed by his old partner Robbie Fowler. Also 5 League Cup goals this season and now captain of Liverpool. Only he survives from the 1995 League Cup success at Wembley. Today, for Liverpool's record 8th League Cup final, he partners Emile Heskey, a League Cup final scorer and twice winner. The back four again resist rotation. Interest in midfield, though. Steven Gerrard is just too late for an England call. Igor Bishkan can't play in Europe, so returns. And it's Vladimir Smicer for Christian Ziege down the left. David Ellery, who has officiated at an FA Cup final, is all set to launch this showpiece, which, amid extraordinary noise, will come your way any minute now. Smashing new venue. 2 clubs, each on the verge, perhaps, of a new era. First major prize of the season, and it is of vast value to Birmingham City or Liverpool. Now, the last time the League Cup was won from outside the top flight, Ron Atkinson carried it home to Hillsborough. So presumably, Ron, from personal experience, you do give Birmingham a chance.
Very much so. I think if Birmingham are right at it and Liverpool aren't, then they've got one hell of a chance. What I certainly think they've got to do is try not to match Liverpool in terms of playing. They've got to be more direct, they've got to be collective, and they've got to work very hard to pressure the Liverpool players and not let Liverpool dictate the flow of the game.
So the best about making his 80th appearance for Liverpool this afternoon. Towards Heskey, whose duel with Michael Johnson is going to be a key one. 2 guys who are not given to compromise. Trevor Francis on the bench, as he was for Ron in 1991, when the League Cup last dropped out of the top division, though that Sheffield Wednesday side were quickly promoted that year as well, of course.
I don't know if something's happened from the bench in the early stage, but I noticed all of a sudden Bishkan switched to left-hand side, and Smicer's going to play in that little role behind the front 2, which would be a very awkward position for the Birmingham midfielders to pick up.
Fowler. Smicer. Vladimir Smicer, it got a little touch. That turned out to be comfortable for Bennett to field. It's a landmark appearance for the Birmingham keeper today as well, his 300th for the club. Smicer out-muscled in the centre circle by O'Connor. He awarded the free kick, which in the first instance David Ellery seemed to give the other way.
I think O'Connor himself forced the free kick. He looked as if he felt Smicer.
Referees do change their mind for Liverpool, right then. Harman. In goes Gerrard. Ranger clear. Sonner onto it. Nicky Eden has missed only 1 game all season and Carragher out in front of John McCarthy. That'll be an interesting duel. Carragher, of course, patrolling the flank in front of Sven-Göran Eriksson for the first half. Been picked in his 31. Defending by Hutja. Clear from Peirce. And then it came to Smicer again, who has Heskey through the middle.
The early signs are he's going to find a lot of free space in there, Smicer. Birmingham may have to adjust tactically with the 2 wide players. They have to narrow down, maybe ask O'Connor to try and keep an eye on Smeets.
Lazaridis. Adebayo. Iosha. Ball by Granger. Horsfield with Hupia at his back, and Hupia overzealous and conceding a free kick, which O'Connor has taken with good alertness and an eye for Eden's forward dash. Here's McCarthy. McCarthy's ball in, aimed at Adebola, out by Olsho, watched by Sonner, but dealt with by Gerrard. Fishkan turning and allowing space to Harman. Heskey. Smeets are in advance of him. Fowler in the penalty area, and Gerrard arriving. Smeets has crossed. Fowler!
Sitter missed. That is a great opportunity.
Last off Granger for a corner.
As soon as this ball flies across, you have to fancy Fowler. It goes in early, and Fowler's got ahead of his marker, and how he's missed that. That's a let-off for Birmingham.
No doubt at all, it is a contest. Granger. In towards Adebola, and Westerveld came, and Sonner won it back, and McCarthy's on the ball. It's John McCarthy! Well, there were two men on the line behind Westerveld. The target wasn't as big as actually it might have seemed. And in the end, he hit it straight at the Dutch keeper anyway.
That's a clever little header there, back to McCarthy, spotted him in, and he's got his shot off fairly well. As you say, not much to go at. So if I was Trevor Francis, my biggest concern would be when his own side's attacking, that they don't get caught on a counter. I think it's important that people like Sonner and O'Connor make sure that they're always in the centre of the field. You can't afford to be too spread. But a very, very encouraging early part of the game.
Heskey won it. Fowler's onto it. Fowler's hit. Fowler's goal. Always Robbie Fowler's competition. And Liverpool's search for a trophy shows signs of finding its destination. 27 League Cup goals now in 32 appearances, and this was one of the best.
Yeah, there doesn't look anything on. You wonder whether Bennett has strayed off his line a little bit too much and left him plenty to lob at, but that's about vision. That's about a natural predator. I think Bennett might just feel he is. He's not the biggest keeper in the world either. Whether they could have lobbed the fella at the other end, I'm not sure, but full marks to Fowler. He made something there out of completely nothing.
Olsho. Heskey's won it. Smeets is onto it. Side netting. There must have been 40,000 of 70,000 who thought it was a goal.
I must admit, I thought it was a goal. I mean, it was a classic piece of movement from Liverpool. Fowler here drags Johnson to the ball, leaving Pearce 1v1 against Heskey. Heskey gets the flick on. You may have to say well done to the keeper on that one, you know. There he is. Smeets has gone off the back of the midfield. He thinks he's scored when he's lobbed that one.
Birmingham City are making a change at the start of the second half, and it's young Andrew Johnson who is being thrown into the big occasion in place of Dele Adebola. So, Ron, how would you interpret the substitution at the start of the second half?
Well, I thought Adebola had a very tame first half, and I would think that young Johnson's been put on to add some energy and some support for Horsfield.
This is McCarthy. Horsfield, who was splendid before the break, really bullish and up for the game. Here's Sonner. Eden. McCarthy, neat stuff from Birmingham. Eden's ball in. Johnson!
Oh, what a start that could have been. He's asking for a corner, but what a glorious piece of football on the right-hand side. Beautiful threaded balling, curling, and that's a super chance, and I think you might have a legitimate call for a corner there. Oh, a great piece of football from Birmingham, and he's just an inch off from having a dream start.
Babel. Fowler. It's good passing from Liverpool. Heskey. Harman. Carragher. Fishka. Spitzer. Onside. Heskey!
Well, he's saying it's a block, David Ellery. I know two Blues defenders threw themselves across Heskey. Trying to play him offside. He's no way offside. Just rolls it across the box here, Smeets. And it didn't look as if anybody else hit that apart from Emil Heskey, but they've got the corner for it.
Heskey, who's on the ball, and has fed Robbie Fowler. Fowler to seal it! Dry grid. Darren Purse, meanwhile, is still a prone spectator. Heskey held him off, and then fed in Fowler, who had a side at goal here. Eden has to get it forward. Hughes. McCarthy. Johnson to take on Hoopier. McCarthy. Good cross. Out by Babel. Chased in by Granger. Came to O'Connor. Tackle. What is it? Penalty! Lifeline for a foul on the Birmingham captain, Martin O'Connor.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about that. It's a wild lunge forward, and two of them like a bomb sight there, but O'Connor was certainly brought down just as he was setting himself up for a shot. At first, he looks as if he's going to hit the ball shot first time, and then just try to take the defender on. From Birmingham's point of view, it gives them, as you say, a lifeline.
Awful moment for the taker. Long delay. Darren Purse has the ball and has scored from the spot this season. Butterflies? I think so. Martin O'Connor won't get to see what happens. He might hear though. As Darren Purse steps forward for Birmingham City of Division 1. What a moment for the individual. What a moment for the club. Purse equalises! It is blue heaven. Just a fantastic moment for those guys who have fought for their club and who now live to fight perhaps for another half hour. And it was a good spot kick, and the keeper went the right way.
It's a very confident kick, particularly after the delay he had, and particularly looking at Vesterveld, who fills the goals, a very big keeper to slot one past.
Darren Purse with the third goal he has scored this season for the foul on Martin O'Connor, which is going to bring about countless stoppage time. Played in towards Heskey, chased now by Fowler, and Fowler's had a go. What next? For the 12th time, the League Cup final requires extra time, courtesy of Darren Purse's splendidly called penalty in stoppage time. It is Liverpool 1, Birmingham 1. Well, in all its years at Wembley, no League Cup final was ever decided by penalties. First year in Cardiff. I wonder, do you have a hunch, Ron?
It's half an hour to go. That's a long old time. I just wonder whether Gerald Julio will be tempted to bring on Owen in the closing stages.
Johnson! Just about got goal side of Hupia, but from an angle that was just about prohibitive.
Yeah, but he's been willing, hasn't he, Owen? He's been willing. He's flicked it on. He's got past the defender here, and he's got his shot away from nothing.
Show.
What a difference a goal makes. All of a sudden, party time for the Blues.
They really believe. Granger, Johnson, McCarthy. Didn't sit for him kindly. For a guy over whom we wondered whether he would last 90 minutes, a full 2 hours is going to be some test.
There's another consideration as well about the Birmingham captain, of course. I mean, at the moment, all thoughts are focused on here, and rightly so. But they have got, what, 15 important league games left, and you just wonder, and obviously Trevor will be thinking this, how much damage will it do to McCarthy staying on, to O'Connor staying on for? Because there's no question he can hardly run. Either that or go and stand on a flank, go and put him on a flank and let him occupy defend and let McCarthy or Lazaridis come into the central midfield area.
Close to the referee there, he's asking whether he can do his job. But I do honestly think that finals like this, when you see a pro like him involved, that's part of what it should be about. Here's McCarthy. Towards the near post and Hughes. Great arrival, fantastically timed run from Brian Hughes.
Well, the question you asked me when the extra time started, do you think they'll play for penalties? At the moment, Birmingham are absolutely dominating the extra time. That's a beautiful ball in, he's timed his run, just can't stay over it.
First.
I'm amazed they brought Ziege on Liverpool to give it a left-hand balance. I'm amazed that they haven't brought Barmby out on the right-hand side to try to match Birmingham up a little bit in numbers.
Johnson out, Lazaridis on. Marcelo should have fresh legs. The other will have a completely fresh front line here. Hughes! Hughes! Oh, what a try! And a fine save.
Hughes, by the way, since the penalty has come alive more than any other player on the field. Didn't have much of an impact on his early part of the game, but now he's almost running the show, and that's desperately unlucky. As you say, a superb save by Bessel, but a superb chip.
First, McCarthy took it and turned and got clear of Ziege. Marcelo. McCarthy. Eden. Up towards O'Connor, who just has to offload here. Hughes. Eden over the top. Hughes is looking very lively. Carragher clear for Liverpool. In steps Pearce. Through here for Johnson. Onside. He's down. And nothing's been given. Again, on show again, and Trevor Francis can't believe what he's seen. Johnson was clear, and wasn't a good tackle actually.
Whatever. Oh, there's not many refs wouldn't have given a penalty on that. He's definitely, he might have touched the ball, but he's definitely taken Johnson's legs from under him as well.
And it was the same Liverpool defender. O'Connor's getting overexcited. He's entitled to be overexcited. Nervous time for Gerard Houllier, who was within seconds of his first Liverpool trophy. Saw Peggy Offetsad behind him on the bench there, who was a penalty shootout hero a couple of times for Leicester last year. Including once in the League Cup. Hughes. Hoopier again. Eden. Well, Marcelo, it's fallen for him. Marcelo's had a goal! Fresh front line for Birmingham. Fresh problem for Sander Westerveld.
Yeah, this one sits up for him, not too dissimilar to the one Fowler hit for the goal, and he just can't throw it over the top of Westerveld.
Whatever happens now, Trevor Francis has reason to be pleased, but it's got beyond that now. This is a winnable game for Birmingham City, and one which Liverpool, for all their superiority for some of the afternoon, are well capable of losing. Eden. Ziga. Oh, it's a smashing ball. Fowler and Johnson across, and McAllister and Fowler. Bennett flew across and got a touch.
Yeah, the first opportunity was the better chance. The ball from Ziga, but Fowler's touch let him down. That was a little bit of a soft cross. He had to make a lot of pace on that. This is the second one. He's got to make a lot of pace to try and get something on it.
Might just have been missing actually,
yeah.
But Bennett had to do the right thing. The safe thing. It was going wide. Corner nonetheless. McAllister over it. And Bennett came, and Johnson dug him out, but only momentarily. Knocked away by Hughes. Marshall. Harmon, Babel. Barmy. Harmon. Foul by Marcelo.
The pendulum's just swung a little bit in these last few minutes. A few corners, a couple of half opportunities for Robbie Fowler, and this is definitely Liverpool's best part of extra time.
Christian Ziga over the free kick. With left-footed in whip, perhaps, so McAllister has a say. It is Ziga. Oh, saved on the line by Bennett, with Hoopier looking dangerous on the edge of the 6-yard area. Actually, he and Fowler might just have been treading on each other's toes a bit here.
Yeah, but you think there's no way he's going to miss that. I mean, that's a very tame header from Hoopier.
And now Liverpool on the counter with Harmon. Babel. Barnby wide. Harmon through the middle, and Heskey. Babel's kept on going himself here. And it wouldn't break for Fowler because Lazaridis came back with a really good sliding take. And now Birmingham in turn counter. This is becoming basketball football. You attack, we'll attack. McAllister. Ziga. Harmon. Liverpool's free kick, and he wanted to play on Dietmar Harmon. He's been booked. He ought to be careful what he says and does. He's on the ball here. It's Harmon's drive! He's hit the post! Thunderous hit from Dietmar Harmon. The last man to score a goal at Wembley was nearly the second to get one in a domestic cup final in Wales.
And if anything, that's a better strike than the one he got against Seaman. That was a super strike, and Birmingham deserved that fortune.
Marcelo on the header. Johnson's onto it. Hoopier across.
He knows he was an inch from nicking that past Hoopier again. And what's worried the Liverpool defenders with Johnson is every time he gets it, he picks it up and runs towards goal.
Eden. Johnson. Babel. Barnby. Last 3 minutes. Nicky Barnby for Liverpool. Babel soldiering forward from fullback. Babel's cross, and Bennett has come and clung on. Well done.
Yeah, great take, great take. The adrenaline is so high on most of the players now that they're not feeling tiredness.
Fantastically emotional feel about the climax to this final. Lazaridis plays it in. Harman made it his, O'Connor wanted it too. McCarthy has it for Birmingham. Eaton going wide of him, McCarthy having a shot. And failing to get over it.
Yeah, he got excited then, John McCarthy. Just a little bit more calculation, he might have been able to thread Eden in.
Who is going to have the legs to hit a penalty 12 yards? Seager won the header. Last moments now, Babel hitting it long. Johnson away. The 15 minutes are up. And David Ellery acknowledges as much. And the first major domestic final in Cardiff is the first major domestic final ever to be decided by penalties, courtesy of Darren Purce's penalty after Robbie Fowler had scored for Liverpool in the first half of normal time. It is going all the way. Who is brave enough? First man up for Liverpool is Gary McAllister, a player who of course has missed the most high profile of penalties in the past, internationally. For Liverpool, who have won a European Cup on penalties, who were the first to win an FA Cup semi-final on penalties, and are now involved here with McAllister first up, and he scores.
Well, Gary McAllister is a good penalty kicker, and that was a superb plant. Very calm, nice plant.
Martin Granger, the first for Birmingham to walk to the Liverpool end. Trevor Francis is now powerless. Granger, save. Advantage, Westerveld and Liverpool.
Yeah, he's a big goalkeeper, fills the goal, got down well, but Martin Granger, not his best penalty.
Nick Barnby in his first major domestic cup final. Two for Liverpool, none better than that. That was a cracking penalty kick, top corner, unreachable.
Yeah, superb plan, took a little angle run up and tucked it right into the furthest corner.
And now a problem for Darren Purce, who scored right at the end of 90 minutes for the penalty stop for Birmingham. Which way does he go? Does he go the same way? Purce for Birmingham, he's got it right again. It's another first-class spot kick.
It's actually a better one than he scored with. Walks up, a quick turn, quick spin, and planted it at a worse level for the keeper. That great nerve.
Christian Ziege, he has been in high-powered situations like this many times. It's Ziege for Liverpool, again very, very good.
Yeah, another greatly executed penalty. Opposite corner to where all the others have gone, but keeper has got no chance.
Marcelo. He can barely afford to miss now for Trevor Francis. Or for those who watch on in Birmingham colours, it's Marcelo. Cool.
Yeah, very tidy tuck. Didn't panic once. He wants the fans. He's trying to get the fans behind him again. And this is a massive penalty now for Hamann.
Ian Bennett has done nothing wrong so far. He's been beaten by great kicks up to now, though. Dietmar Hamann of Germany and Liverpool. He's saved it! And overall, parity is restored. It's a message, and Bennett is the hero of the moment.
Yeah, well, he struck it well, but he struck it down the keeper's throat. Keeper's not committed himself. He stood his ground, and now he's given his team a lifeline.
Oh, dear. Stan Lazaridis to make it 3-3. And he does.
Oh, that's nerve. That's nerve. He's gone, he's tucked it away, sent the keeper the wrong way. And is there another twist in the tail yet?
Well, it is now effectively sudden death. 3-3 with one each left to take. And it is Robbie Fowler, Mr. League Cup, Mr. Liverpool, top step boy.
Well,
would you be prepared to do that?
Well, he took a straight run up, he ran straight at the ball, checked, looked at the keeper, gave him the eyes and then flipped it into the top corner. That is nerve beyond.
All of which means that Brian Hughes has to score for Birmingham. There are the blue noses, and there is a bloodied nose from the war of the match that has preceded this. A boyhood Evertonian for Birmingham City against Liverpool. He cannot miss.
And he hasn't. There have been some excellent penalties. And that goes amongst them.
Well, last time Birmingham took on Liverpool at penalties, they missed a lot. They've improved over 6 years. And now we are onto the list of extras. Sixth penalty taker for Liverpool is Jamie Carragher. Another local lad, a Bootle boy. Local hero.
Azuma, he's pinged that one right into the roof. Both sides have missed one, and to be fair, the keepers have had no chance with the others.
Andrew Johnson recently turned 20 years old. Young and fearless, really fearless. At a moment like this, can he? Save! It's a horrible moment for the young man, but it is Liverpool's trophy, a cup in the cabinet. The goalkeeper is the star of the moment, and bedlam ensues.
Spare a thought for that kid, though. He's worked, he's battled, he's been one of the best players for Birmingham, and unfortunately, his memory of this final will be the man that missed.
So sad for Trevor Francis, so sad for those who fought so hard. For Gerard Houllier, though, tangible reward, concrete evidence of progress made, simply a cup. The Worthington Cup is Liverpool's.
So near and yet so far. Birmingham so close to that glorious victory. The players proudly collected their losers' medals, knowing they'd pushed themselves to the limits. Warm applause from all sides of the Millennium Stadium. Blues fans and Liverpool harmonious in the acknowledgement of a valiant effort. Liverpool knew they'd been in a game and were relieved when Robbie Fowler lifted their first trophy in 6 years.
We've matched the top 3 side in the Premiership for 120 minutes there. We've got to take heart from that for the rest of the season.
Now, you got the equaliser in stoppage time. You had to long wait before you could take that penalty.
Yeah, we had Granger, Martin and O'Connell both down in the box, so I just stayed out of the way, try and keep myself composed, and when I went out and struck it, I just made sure I got good contact onto it.
It's always the same when you go out on penalties, but I have to say, Gary, I'm absolutely proud of my players. I think they've done a fantastic job this afternoon. I never thought with, 5 minutes to go in normal time, we could take this game to penalties. But we kept battling away. Probably the winners have lost today.
What was the feeling? I mean, a terrific comeback after the equalising penalty in terms of dominating extra time.
I think we proved how good we are and how good the Nationwide League is at football. We gave Liverpool a good game. Obviously the fans enjoyed it. Unfortunately we come out losers, but I think we can nail our heads up high.
One who could hold his head aloft was young Andrew Johnson. A standing ovation received at St Andrews. Few were more deserving. A huge crowd had congregated to send the Blues on their way for the traditional open-top tour of the city. Grey skies rather than blue, but the thousands of fans that turned out painted Birmingham's Victoria Square blue regardless. After all, they had kept right on to the end of the road.
So 24 hours on, how are you feeling?
A lot better than last night, but still a bit gutted for the team, the fans, all the supporters, they were brilliant. But I've just started to get my head around it now, and I'm looking forward to Friday's game.
We said before the game we want to be playing teams like Liverpool week in, week out, and that's our aim. That was our aim before Sunday. You know, yesterday was a bonus for us, and I think we come out with flying colours. Now we took to us to prove ourselves how good we are for the rest of the season, hopefully get, you know, somewhere near promotion, second spot.
The supporters were fantastic yesterday, and once again today. I didn't expect anyone to be here in these sort of weather conditions, but it shows how low they are. Can you imagine if we'd won the trophy? I mean, we've done everything but do it. I thought the performance yesterday was fantastic.